had that feeling yet that this is something new already?
I feel like everybody's a little anxious. Like everybody's anxious just for the next thing. Like you have like all the new freshmen coming, like Grady Dick coming in the locker room with all his energy, just ready for the next thing. So I think it's good that we have something else to focus on and just not dwell on the national championship, even though we are really happy about it.
Yeah, is it hard to move on from that? Something so good?
Yeah, it's hard to move on, especially when you go back home and that's all you hear about. But I think everybody's just anxious and ready for the new expectations this year.
You got a lot of love at home?
Of course, especially going back to Austin and rubbing into a lot of Longhorn faces. I enjoyed it.
What do you kind of view as being I know you were basically playing the 5 this past season. You came in as kind of more of a wing. What do you kind of view as your, I guess, position for this next season?
I think we'll see what happens. I think whenever the team needs me, I'll be. But it really depends on my jumper and how that evolves around this summer. I think that's really the deciding point where I'm going to be for next year.
And have you seen growth in the jumper already?
Yeah, I feel a lot of growth. It's just a lot of technique stuff. I just have to get a lot more reps to really conquer a good jumper.
Do you have an example of that, or like anything that you've been doing practice-wise, like shooting X amount of shots a day or something like that?
Not really, just a lot of reps.
It's always something you've had in your game, right? I mean, you've shot the ball.
It's really all about confidence for me with my jumper, because I've had a lot of the green light for my high school years, so it's a little different when you come here and there's a lot of guys that shoot it great, not just good. So it's just a mental thing and more reps type of thing.
KJ, back at the end of April, you tweeted that you were excited to defend the title at Kansas. Was there any deeper meaning to that? Were people in your ear about transferring, or were you just saying, "Hey, I'm excited to be back"?
No, I was always going to come back. I was just letting people know that, because there was a lot of worries that I was going to transfer, but my end goal is obviously to stay here as long as I can, just to be better. So there's really no discussion of me leaving or anything like that.
You mentioned meeting Grady earlier. I guess, do you do your own research with the 4 freshmen, 5 freshmen? I guess they're coming in, or is it a wait and see game?
I feel like when you play in so many exposure tournaments and play with so many guys, you get to know a lot of the top people. So I already knew everybody on the freshman team before we even got them. So I already knew really a lot of them and what they're about, and we have a promising future with them.
Have you played against those guys yet, Grady and the guys who have arrived?
I haven't played against them, but I played in a lot of camps with them, like Elite 100 and stuff like that.
Describe Cam's game, Cam Martin.
Cam Martin. Well, Cam Martin's he's kind of a niche kind of guy, because he can shoot the ball, but he's a small and strong kind of post player. So he can do all type of things. It just depends on what he can do for us this year.
You obviously played against Kevin last year, not the same position, but you were on the court together.
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited to have him on the team? What was kind of your reaction when he committed?
Oh, I'm just excited that he chose to come here. I feel like he can help us in a lot of different ways, especially with another big wing. I feel like he can help us and just do a lot of things that we lost this year with people going to the drafts.
Hey, other than the ring, what was the biggest thing you got out of your first season here? Maybe personally for your game?
I think probably just experience. I feel like you come to Kansas to play in big time moments, and I feel like I was in a lot of big time moments this last year. And I feel like that was what really my true calling for coming here and getting this freshman season and not redshirting, is just to be in those moments to help and get experience that people wouldn't get if they redshirted or not.
I know you've seen it. A lot of people like to point out that you were on the floor that last defensive possession of the title game. I mean, what's that done for you? I know it's one possession, but it was a pretty big one. And how much stock do you put in that, and what does that mean to you?
I think it means to me that whatever I can do to help the team, I'm gonna do. Even though I played probably like 3 minutes of the game, Coach trusted me to put me in that last possession, and I feel like if I can grow on that and just not dwell on that, because a lot of people can say, you did this good, you did this good, but also I want to grow some more minutes. So even though I was in that last possession, I want to grow for more player to play more minutes as I stay here.
Do you remember that moment when he told you to go in for that? I mean, what went through your mind? What was your thought process then?
Well, obviously, Coach likes to use me for defense, so like when I see like there's this amount of seconds left, I already have my jersey always trying to go, so when he calls my name, I'm already there, just just waiting for it. So I kind of remember it, but it was a little bit of a blur because I was already patiently waiting just to get in there a lot of the second half.
That's different than the end of a first half at a
Yeah.
game here in February, though, right?
No,
I mean,
it's way different because I feel like the first part of the season I was just nervous, but I feel like that time during that season and the end of the game I was just ready to make an impact on that type of stage.
you said going in was a bit of a blur. Do you remember the possession? Do you remember?
I remember I wanted to guard Caleb, but Christian said no, I'm not letting this freshman mess this up, so he ended up guarding him. And then I was kind of in there just making sure everything was okay, but I didn't need him because Christian locked him up pretty good.
I remember in the picture of that, I guess it was Christian who was on the ball, but you can see you kind of jumping in from the side just to add whatever contest you can. Was that just kind of last play of the game? I'm just do whatever I can to try to make this miss?
I think when everything's going so fast and so quick, you don't really realize what's going on because obviously there's a guy wide open there where I'm trying to focus on that. So a lot of things going on, but I think I was just trying to help just in case something happened.
How important are these summer drills for you and the new guys?
I think it's a lot because you can get so tied into who's going to be in this lineup, who's going to be in that. But I feel like everybody just needs to get better at what they do. But it's important because this is really the only time that you can work on your individual self, and then the team will go on later when the season actually starts.
What do you expect on draft night from Ochai and Christian and maybe Dave?
I expect really big things. I feel like they're really good players. I feel like CB and Ochai and Dave have a lot to offer to the NBA, and whatever pick they get, I'm happy because they deserve whatever they get coming to them.
All right, man. Thanks, KJ.